In 1975, the world was captivated, and terrified, by the story of the Amityville haunting. But what if I told you this was only the beginning? What came next would be even more horrifying. The story of the Hodgson family in Enfield, England. Two families, two hauntings, and one demon determined to wreak havoc. This is the complete story of The Conjuring 2. We begin in Amityville, New York, where Ed and Lorraine Warren are investigating one of the most infamous hauntings in history. A year earlier, Ronald DeFeo Jr. brutally murdered his entire family in this house, and the new owners, the Lutz family, claim the home is now plagued by malevolent forces. During the investigation, Lorraine Warren, a gifted clairvoyant, connects with the spirits of the house. What she sees is horrifying. She relives the night of the murders, seeing herself in the role of Ronald DeFeo as he kills his family. But that's not all. Lorraine encounters a demonic figure, dressed as a nun, that leaves her shaken. Ed pulls her out of the vision just in time, but this encounter will haunt them both. This is no ordinary demon. It's a force of pure evil with a name Lorraine will come to fear, Valak. Fast forward 3 years to Enfield, a working-class town in England. The Hodgson family, Peggy and her 4 children, live a modest life, struggling after their father walked out on them. But their world is about to be turned upside down. Janet Hodgson, an 11-year-old girl, begins experiencing strange events in her home. It starts small, hearing whispers, feeling as though someone is watching her, but soon, the activity escalates. Janet wakes up in strange places, hears an eerie voice claiming, "This is my house," and soon, the entire family begins to experience the unexplainable. The voice gets louder, more menacing. Objects move on their own. And then, the beds start shaking violently. Terrified, the Hodgsons flee to their neighbor's home. Even the police are brought in, and they witness something truly chilling, a chair sliding across the room with no one touching it. But what could they do? The family needed help, and fast. Meanwhile, in the United States, the Warrens are facing scrutiny. Their work on the Amityville case has been called a hoax, and Lorraine is deeply troubled. She keeps seeing visions of a demonic nun and the death of her husband, Ed. But when a priest asks them to investigate the Enfield case, they reluctantly agree. The Warrens travel to Enfield to help the Hodgsons. They immediately sense that this case is more dangerous than they imagined. Janet is now speaking in the voice of an old man named Bill Wilkins, who claims he died in the house and refuses to leave. As the investigation continues, the Warrens discover that the entity isn't just haunting Janet. It's tormenting the entire family. Young Billy is chased by a terrifying figure known as the Crooked Man, a nightmarish apparition tied to a children's rhyme. Janet begins to lose control, possessed by the spirit. But when video footage shows her apparently faking some of the activity, the Warrens start to question whether the haunting is real. Janet tearfully confesses that the entity forced her to fake the phenomena, threatening to harm her family if she didn't obey. Lorraine has a breakthrough. She realizes that Bill Wilkins isn't the true villain here. He's just a pawn, controlled by a greater force, Valak, the demonic nun. The Warrens decipher Bill's message, "Help me. It won't let me go." This revelation sends them rushing back to the Hodgson house, where the demon is preparing for its final attack. The Warrens return to find Janet standing by a shattered window, ready to jump. Outside, a lightning strike has turned a tree into a deadly spike, fulfilling Lorraine's vision of Ed's death. Ed risks his life to save Janet, while Lorraine faces off against Valak. Finally, Lorraine remembers the demon's name and uses it to condemn Valak back to hell. The family is safe, at least for now. The Enfield poltergeist became one of the most famous cases in paranormal history. Peggy Hodgson continued living in the house for decades, passing away in the same chair where Bill Wilkins died. The Warrens return home, placing another artifact in their museum of haunted items. But their experiences in Enfield, and the shadow of Valak, will stay with them forever. The Conjuring 2 isn't just a ghost story. It's a tale of courage, family, and the fight between good and evil. What do you think? Was the Enfield poltergeist a true haunting or an elaborate hoax? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more spine-chilling stories from the paranormal world.